LeBron is so easy to play. He's so fucking easy to play. He don't have any moves.
You can't hand check. You can't contest shots.
But now it's more like, I don't want to watch players come down and shoot 50-footers. That's not basketball. I mean,
you get close to the basket, a lot more of your shots will go in.
These 6 NBA legends have watched the modern game transform into something they barely recognize, and they're finally voicing what diehard basketball fans have felt for years. Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Kevin Garnett won a combined 21 championships playing a brand of basketball that has all but disappeared. Their criticism of today's NBA isn't just old-school grumbling, it's a warning about how far the league has drifted from its roots. Then came an unexpected moment in October 2025. Michael Jordan agreed to a real sit-down interview. NBC's Mike Taro landed him for MJ. Insights to Excellence, and when the topic of load management surfaced, Jordan delivered a line that should echo in the minds of every player in the league today.
What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. The fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy, right? So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lane.
Players today are signing $200 million contracts before they've even won a playoff series, before their games are complete, before they've shown they can battle through adversity. The money comes first, the motivation never develops, and they end up comfortable long before they're great. And comfort destroys excellence every time. When Michael Jordan entered the league, he made under $1 million a year. He took loss after loss to the Pistons and used every one of those defeats as fuel. He didn't win his first championship until age 28, and the years of frustration taught him exactly what it required to become a champion. Now, players get max deals at 22 and wonder why veterans question their drive. Just look at Game 5 of the 1997 Finals, the perfect snapshot of Jordan's mentality. He was so sick with food poisoning he could barely stay upright during timeouts. Yet he dropped 38 points and carried the Bulls to another victory. That was his standard. And it's a standard most of today's players can't even comprehend, let alone reach. If Jordan is disappointed with the modern NBA, Shaquille O'Neal is flat out outraged. And unlike many retired players who choose diplomacy, Shaq doesn't bother protecting anyone's feelings that he averaged 23.7 points per game for his career while being grabbed, shoved, held, and fouled harder than any player in today's league will ever experience. He won 4 championships and paid for them with his body. Teams literally invented the hack-a-Shaq strategy just to slow him down, proof of the physical punishment he took every night. And in March 2021 on the Dan Patrick Show, Shaq dropped a phrase that perfectly summed up the modern player's mindset, explaining exactly why today's stars seem unable to handle even the slightest criticism from the legends who built the league.
With that mindset to achieve greatness?
It's hard to be hungry when you have. Simple as that. I mean, if you don't have, you are willing to do whatever you have.
Pudding pops are soft, sweet, and they melt the moment heat hits them. And to Shaquille O'Neal, that's exactly what today's NBA has become. Coming from someone who understands real toughness, the comparison hits hard. His story about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar proves why it matters. When one of the greatest players of all time told Shaq he needed to improve, Shaq didn't run to social media or complain about haters. He didn't deflect. He listened, accepted the criticism, and went back to work. Meanwhile, today's players hear the same feedback from legends with equal or greater credentials and instantly flip into victim mode online. No self-reflection, no accountability, which is why the cycle repeats itself and growth never happens. Then came April 2025, when Shaq delivered his harshest assessment yet on the Big Podcast. He finally addressed what he sees as the biggest issue, the declining quality of the modern NBA itself.
A lot of people take flack. When I take flack, a lot of people right now, oh, you're too hard on the youngsters. Well, I'm just doing what was done to me. I can remember when I was averaging 30, 35 in LA, but we'd always get swept. And the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, hey, you guys won a championship yet. Did I whine? Did I cry? Did I complain on social media? Nope, I didn't say anything because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had G14 classification to say that. What am I going to do? So these guys now, they're pudding pops. You say something about them, oh, church. That's what they, so when he said that, when he gave me constructive criticism, I took it and I listened and I brought my game to another.
That's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud. The product has gotten worse. Games feel dull, real defense has vanished, and every team leans on the same three-point heavy formula regardless of whether their roster is even built for it. Fans are checking out, ratings are slipping, and the league's decision-makers refuse to admit there's a problem. And then there's Charles Barkley, the most entertaining critic of today's NBA. He's hilarious, brutally honest, and most importantly, right? His takes can't be dismissed as bitter old-school talk, because the humor never overshadows the accuracy. On February 11, 2015, during Inside the NBA, Barkley unleashed his legendary anti-analytics rant, a clip that has racked up millions of views because it perfectly illustrates how spreadsheet-driven basketball has drained the soul out of the sport.
People say Charles and I, we're ruining the game talking about the product, because the product is show me greatness. Like, y'all pay a lot of money for these shoes, and I want to see be great, and I'm gonna always stay on them and motivate them to be great. They can call it hate I want, but I ain't sucking these out just because they're making $400 million. A lot of these can't play, and they know it.
His joke about analytics guys never getting girls in high school sent data-driven fans into a meltdown, but Barkley wasn't wrong. Front offices are now filled with people who never played high-level basketball, yet they believe equations can replace actual feel for the game. The result? A league full of unwatchable possessions, with teams combining for 140 points just by firing threes all night. Barkley shot only 26.6% from three for his career, the worst among players with more than 1,000 attempts, which makes the irony of his criticism easy to spot. But that's exactly why his point hit so hard. He knew he couldn't shoot threes, so he didn't force them. Today's players don't have that self-awareness. You see role players hitting barely 30% from deep, taking 8 threes a game simply because the analytics say it's efficient. But missing 7 out of 8 isn't efficiency. It's bad basketball wearing a fake mask of smart strategy.
So, and analytics don't work at all. They're just a crap to some people who were really smart, made up to try to get in the game because they had no talent. Because they had no talent to be able to play.
I agree with you on that.
So smart guys wanted to fit in, so they made up a term called analytics. Analytics don't work. What analytics did the Miami Heat have? What analytics did the Chicago Bulls have? All these guys who run these organizations who talk about analytics, they have one thing in common. They're a bunch of guys who ain't never played the game, and they never got the girls in high school, and they just want to get in the game.
Load management has become both a joke and an embarrassment. You've got players making $50 million a year who can't handle playing back-to-back games. Fans spend their hard-earned money to see stars, only to watch them sit on the bench in designer outfits instead of uniforms. Meanwhile, Charles Barkley played through injuries that would sideline today's players for months. He went to war against bigger centers every night, attacked the glass with zero hesitation, and never even considered sitting out just because he felt sore. He often says it best. Steel workers show up exhausted to jobs that are far more demanding and far less rewarding financially, because that's what work means. NBA players, on the other hand, play a game for generational wealth and still act like 4 games a week is unreasonable. Dennis Rodman doesn't do many interviews, but when he speaks, he drops truth bombs that send LeBron fans into meltdown mode. His take on how LeBron would survive in the 90s remains one of the most controversial opinions in NBA history. And in June 2013 on The Dan Patrick Show, Rodman gave his most famous critique when asked how LeBron stacked up against players from his own era.
Couldn't believe that an NBA player could make $1 million. And now these guys are so lucky and blessed, and they can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week.
Average. That's the word Dennis Rodman used to describe what LeBron James would be if he played in the 1990s. Not elite. Not an all-star. Just an average player in that era's environment. LeBron fans brushed it off as jealousy, but Rodman was making a specific point about physicality and skill that most people ignored. In the 90s, hand-checking was legal. Hard fouls were part of the game. The Jordan rules weren't just strategy, they were an invitation to get battered every time you drove to the rim. In today's softer NBA, LeBron is often bigger and stronger than anyone guarding him. He charges into the paint, gets whistles on minimal contact, and defenders can't hand-check or use their bodies to slow him down. Rodman's argument wasn't about disrespect. It was about context. The game LeBron dominates today is nothing like the battlefield Rodman played in.
It's really not a comparison. I'm just saying, if LeBron was playing in the late 80s and the early 90s, he was just an average player. I mean, but to do what Michael has done, I mean, dude, seriously, Michael did what he did. It was more charisma. It's more articulate and stuff like that. LeBron is more like, boom, okay? There ain't no flash to his game.
The lie detector test claimed Rodman was lying when he said it, and that became the headline. But that completely missed the point. It was never about whether Rodman himself could personally shut down LeBron. What he was really saying is that the defensive schemes, physicality, and psychological warfare that defined 90s basketball would have taken away LeBron's biggest advantages built on being bigger and stronger than defenders who aren't allowed to touch him under today's officiating. And in 2021 on the Full Send podcast, Rodman explained exactly why he stopped watching the modern NBA altogether.
No one could lock up LeBron and me and Mike and Scottie could.
Scottie Pippen would have locked up LeBron.
I could lock his ass up. LeBron is so easy to play. He's so fucking easy to play. He don't have any moves. Sit and turn on to it. All the move he has is straight down on the king. What do you think? They ain't got no moves. Where's he going?
Everything that once made basketball fierce and competitive has been legislated out of the sport, leaving behind a glorified shooting contest with no defense, no edge, and no real intensity. Scottie Pippen may spark controversy with some of his opinions about Michael Jordan, but his critiques of today's NBA are still sharp and meaningful, especially when it comes to load management and how it disrespects the fans who keep the league alive. And in January 2025, during his appearance on the PBD podcast with Patrick Bet-David, Pippen delivered one of his clearest and strongest breakdowns of what's gone wrong with the modern game.
Now it's more like, I don't want to watch players coming down shooting 50-footers. That's not basketball. I mean,
charging $800 for a family of 4 to watch stars sit on the bench in street clothes? That's highway robbery. Scottie Pippen knows it firsthand. He gave everything to the fans every single night, even while playing through injuries that would bench today's stars for months. He defended the league's best perimeter players, did all the dirty work that never shows up on stat sheets, and never even considered load management because that concept didn't exist in his era. On the same podcast, Pippen also broke down how the obsession with three-point shooting has ruined true team basketball.
Fans are students of the game as well. They're not just fans, they know the game. And so you seeing players over there that you worked hard all week to earn money and to bring your family out for a family evening, and now they got sitting over there in sweats that's not even a team uniform. And it's like, really? Is this what I save my $800 for?
The art of ball movement and precise offensive execution that once made basketball beautiful has been obliterated by the three-point revolution. Today, teams simply spread the floor and fire from deep, a style that Pippen sees as a step backward, no matter what analytics say about efficiency. Kevin Garnett occasionally defends modern players, but when he critiques the NBA, his words hit like a wrecking ball. His response to Anthony Edwards' claim that 90s players lacked skill became one of the most viral moments of 2024. In August 2024, on his Ticket and the Truth podcast, Garnett delivered a scathing takedown that left no room for debate.
I definitely feel like the three-point shot has turned fans away from the game because it's just no teamwork in shooting a three-point shot. There's no teamwork in coming down and taking a shot from behind the three-point line, but there's teamwork in coming down and executing a play.
According to Kevin Garnett, 50% of today's NBA players wouldn't have even made a roster in his era. This isn't a hot take for clicks. It's a first-hand assessment of the massive gap in talent, toughness, and mentality between generations. Back then, hand-checking, hard fouls, and defensive intensity that bordered on assault were the norm. You couldn't just travel your way into a step-back three or flop to draw free throws like players do today. On October 19, 2024, Garnett delivered a targeted critique of Joel Embiid that perfectly illustrated everything wrong with the modern player mindset.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100, and this is to everybody in our league, Tatum, all y'all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
Nah.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back, and then if you shot that shit, it had to go in, Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Back-to-back games make up roughly 15 contests per season. Yet Joel Embiid announces before the season even begins that he won't play them. Add in random rest days and load management, and he ends up suiting up for just 50 games when he should be playing 82. Kevin Garnett, by contrast, played all 82 games 4 times in his career and appeared in at least 71 games in 12 of his first 13 seasons, all while maintaining the kind of intensity that took a real toll on his body. In February 2017, on NBA TV with Kevin McHale, Garnett also explained how AAU basketball has eroded fundamental skills, further shaping the modern game for better or worse.
What do you think is a good number of games?
82 games, man. This is what the fucking job calls for. You're not practicing. You're not even playing a whole fucking, you don't play in the summer? Right. I can see if you playing in the summer, you on the playground, you went to the Olympics, then it's training camp, y'all do 30 days of fucking tour days. Okay, that's when you get rest. Man, I don't want to hear this shit, man. I don't want to hear none of this shit.
Entitlement defines today's NBA players. They think they deserve success without earning it, respect without proving themselves, and rest without competing. AAU basketball helped create this mindset by catering to future stars while ignoring the fundamentals and team concepts that real basketball demands. The uncomfortable truth no one wants to admit: 0.6 Hall of Famers, 21 combined championships, and decades of basketball excellence across generations all agree on one thing: the modern NBA is broken. Load management has turned a competitive sport into part-time work, with millionaires deciding when they feel like showing up. The obsession with three-point shooting has stripped the game of its artistry, reducing every contest to the same predictable shot clock contest. Super teams have destroyed competitive balance, leaving half the league tanking while the other half chases stars. AAU basketball produced players who think they deserve it all without effort, who can't handle criticism without playing victim, and who lack the fundamentals to execute real basketball. The legends, by contrast, played through injuries that would sideline today's stars for months. They showed up every night because they understood their duty to fans who paid hard-earned money for tickets. They developed complete games instead of relying on a single skill. They built teams instead of chasing personal brands. They prioritized winning over comfort and competition over convenience. You can dismiss these champions as bitter old heads, claim they're jealous of modern salaries, or argue the game has evolved past their understanding. But here's one thing you cannot dispute: their results. 21 championships earned the right way, without super teams, without sitting out back-to-backs, without whining on social media when criticized. Competing at the highest level every single night is what separates them from today's stars. The modern NBA is softer, less physical, less competitive, and far less entertaining, not an opinion but an observable fact. Ratings are down, attendance is slipping, and fans are tuning out because the product is predictable and dull. The real question isn't whether the legends are right, it's whether any current player has the hunger, toughness, or mentality to prove them wrong. Based on everything we've seen, the answer is no. Until someone rises to fix it, the NBA will continue its decline while the legends who built the league watch it crumble.